It's the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Sometimes you get trapped in a headlock and you're worried about smearing your lip gloss. Shoot her off and take a shoulder block. Do the leapfrog, give her the hip toss. Oh, it's the hardest part of the ring. Hey, the hardest part of the ring. One more, you got the guy in an abdominal stretch. Grab the rope for extra leverage. And you get a concussion from the angry rush, and you get paid with a diet soft beverage on the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Now double claps. Clap, clap, clap. It's June 6th, 2022. Monday Night Raw. Hulu edition. Not limited enough. Commercial interruption. Clap, clap, clap. The hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Ba-da-ba-da. Whoa. Yay. Oh, what you doing, Bob Squad? What do you say? What do you know? How's tricks? How's the kids? Some weather we're having. Are you hip to that scene? Daddy down like a clown, out of here like Vladimir, chilling like Bob Dylan on penicillin. You punching the clock, passing a buck, working hard but hardly working, burning the candle at both ends, burning the midnight oil. You're getting hoodwinked, flim flam, shim sham, bamboozled. You're getting the rug pulled over your eyes, the carpet swept around from under your feet. You're chomping at the bit, you froth at the mouth. Drool dribbling down your chin, stacked on one another like hermit crabs crawling out of a bucket. You're god damn champions. Hey now. Did you see how I held it? That's a pregnant pause when I went god damn champions. That's what we call a pregnant pause in the entertainment business. I got pregnant pauses. My pauses are knocked up. Everyone's having sex and impregnating my pauses. My pauses are so pregnant. How pregnant are they? My pauses are so pregnant. Strangers rub my pauses' belly without asking for permission. That's how pregnant my pauses are. I got my pauses are barefoot in the kitchen making other pauses. That's so stupid. My pauses are so... How pregnant are they? My pauses are so pregnant. People in public transportation sometimes get up to give their seats to my pauses, but sometimes they don't. My pauses are so pregnant. How pregnant are they? My pauses are so pregnant, my punchline's water is breaking. Okie dokie. But I'm starting to see the soft, mushy head of this podcast, and it has to start sometime. So let's do it. Monday Night Raw. Hulu edition. Hulu edition. Hey now. Why do I do that? Not limit enough commercial interruption. They should limit them a little bit more. The show starts off with Hulk Hogan slamming Andre the Giant. And we watch Hulk Hogan slamming Andre the Giant to the soothing, calming voice of John Cena. He puts me to sleep in a good way. His voice is like it's like a security blanket for the ears. You know how sometimes when dogs are nervous, they have, here in the States, they have the product called the Thunder Shirt. It's like a tight little jacket you can put around their dog, so your dog feels like it's being hugged, because no one can just hug their own fucking dog, you idiots. You gotta buy a jacket to show affection to your furry friend, you fucking fucks. What's wrong with you? They're dogs. They're better than us. I don't even want to do elections anymore. I just want to put... How about we put the candidates in a room and we just pick the one that dogs go to? Like, that would be better. Because we can't do it. We're very bad at it. Let's just let the dogs decide. Dogs always know who the asshole is. I want a fair fight. I don't want anybody having treats in their pockets. I don't want anyone having cold cuts on them or anything like that. I don't want any of the candidates smelling like their dogs from home. That's cheating. I don't want that. I don't care which old person counted the most chads in whatever county. I want to know which dogs had the waggiest tails. And that's how we decide. You know how... I gotta talk about wrestling, goddammit. You know how much more fun the insurrection would be every January 6th if we're just gonna keep doing this here in America? If there's a bunch of people outside the Capitol building, but it's not people, it's just like Labrador retrievers and rescue pit bulls. I'm going next time if we do that. I'm gonna give some pats, scratch some ears, rub some bellies. I'm having a good time. That's what we would have done. How much more fun would that be? What the hell do I know? Funny, you let a bunch of... You're still on this, Bob. You're not letting this go. You let a bunch of dogs into the Capitol building. Either way, dogs or humans, it still ends with some life form taking a dump in Nancy Pelosi's office. So what the hell can I tell you? What the hell can I tell you? At least one of the two life forms would feel kind of bad about it. Okie dokie. Hulk Hogan slams Andre the Giant. John Cena's making us feel warm and cozy. Thank you, John. I think he became his Twitter. That's what. Okay, enough. You done? You done, Bob? We're 5 minutes into the program. No, we're 6 minutes into this program. I've wasted enough of your time. I'm mad at Raw for wasting your time. What happens here? Yeah, we're 5 minutes in. We have to see a long package about Cody. And the motherfucker was purple. He looked like he snapped the Thanos glove. God damn it, his arm was blown half to hell. Sweet mother of pearl. So anyway, after 5 minutes, Cody's music plays, and he's dressed very nice, but he's not moving one of his arms, and he's high-fiving the people and getting COVID. And they chant "Thank you, Cody" at him, which is nice. And then Cody gives a very emotional thing about his daughter, and he fought to teach her not to get cynical or jaded. It's a funny way to make fun of wrestling fans without telling them you're making fun of them. It's like in the first episode, I think the first episode of the Obi-Wan series. It's a Disney Plus. It's a streaming platform. I don't have time to explain it. And they have Obi-Wan Kenobi, and they I think they break or they throw a Star Wars toy, like in the first episode. I think Obi-Wan tries to give a fighter jet whatever toy to leaves it for Luke to find, and Uncle Owen throws it back or something. So they're just beating the crap out of Star Wars toys to further aggravate the people who are going to watch this program, but whatever. Episode 3 was cool because it had Vader in it. I like seeing Vader in his prime. Other than that, kind of don't give a fuck. No, that's okay. And Cody, Seth interrupts him. Okie dokie. And Seth does a heartfelt thing about how he respects Cody and yada yada yada. And it's a long drawn out thing, and eventually they shake hands, they hug, and give each other a little slap on the buttocks. No, they don't, Bob. They do not do that. Well, they could have done that. Well, they didn't. I like to think... No, you can't. You can't report your headcanon of the show, Bob. You have to just say what happened and how you feel about it. Well, I feel that they should have done a pat on the buttocks. They should not have done a pat on the buttocks. Move on. Move on. Sorry. Don't be sorry. Move on. Sorry. And they go up the ramp. And eventually Seth disappears, but of course he hasn't. Cody goes up the ramp and he turns around to wave at the people, like he just won Miss Ohio as a second runner-up in a Miss America contest. And he's waving at people with his non-Thanos arm, and Seth, of course, sneaks from behind him with a sledgehammer and beats the holy bejeebus out of him. And it was a whole thing. And what I liked about this was the announcers. We go to break. I like that too. I needed one. We come back, and the announcers are angry. Even Corey Graves, the heel announcer, is like, what the hell? That's disgusting. And they didn't do, and I like this, or at least Corey didn't do, they didn't have him do, we gotta do the somber, serious voice now. Because Kevin Dunn thinks that's a good idea to do the somber, serious voice. To put people to fucking sleep. No, Corey Graves, the heel announcer, was just loudly like, that's disgusting. Those are deplorable actions, and I don't like them, or whatever the hell. I forget what the hell he said. It's been 2 days now since I saw it. I had a comedy show last night. Oh, well. Got a big one tomorrow. Oh, I'll talk about the end of the thing. So they were pissed off, and it was good. Hey, remember Emotions? This show had them once, 20 years ago. The announcers are angry, of course, because it was Seth Rollins. It has to be back-to-back. Becky Lynch is next. And Becky Lynch, to my surprise, is wrestling Dana Brooke, the 24/7 championship. Okie dokie. I did not see this coming. I certainly did not. What happened next? I'm trying to read my own handwritings now. Oh, Becky's very upset. So the 24/7 nonsense is going on. Apparently, Akira Tozawa is the 24/7 champion, and for no reason, even though he's not the target, he's being chased at this perfect time by 5 other people who usually wrestle in catering or whatever the hell. Anyway, Akira stumbles into the ring, and Dana Brooke pins him to be. She pins Akira Tozawa during her match to become the 24/7 champion during her match with Becky Lynch. So Becky challenges Dana for the 24/7 championship. Oh boy. Anyway, Becky beats the crap out of her, starts hitting the Beck Exploder suplexes one after another like she's Brock Lesnar, because she kind of thinks she is. And then Asuka comes down the ramp, and she creates a distraction, and she kind of pulls Becky's leg on like a jackknife type of pinning combo, and Dana Brooke successfully defends her newly won 24/7 championship against Becky Lynch. Dana Brooke pins Becky Lynch on Raw. I suspect, if not next week, probably next week, but if not the week after, Becky Lynch will be beating the ever-loving crap out of Dana Brooke. I don't know if Becky Lynch will actually be holding the 24/7 championship at any time. There was one scene in this where everyone, even the male wrestlers like R-Truth, would back down from Becky Lynch. And just because she's a main eventer, you're still a dude that's 3 times her weight. Like, why are you scared of her? Okay. Who cares anymore? I tried, guys. I tried to get you with the pregnant pauses. Stop ejaculating in my pauses. That's not what the pause is for. Just because there's a pause, it doesn't mean you put your wiener in it. The pauses are knocked up. I'm still here. There's a break and we need another. Miz TV is back, and his very sexually attractive wife, Maurice, is there as well. Her bosoms are ample. Bob, stop it. And Riddle is the guest. So anyway, Maurice and Miz... Marie, I say this every time because I mean it every time. Maurice is very funny. When she insults a crowd and looks down on them, and she has the French accent, obviously, I believe her. Miz will always sound to me like he's still kind of playing a part. Like he had one real impassioned promo in 2016, and it was great. But he's been imitating that promo since 2016. Does that make any sense? Sure it does. I'm Bob Hansen, former World Tag Team Champion. I pinned Moondog Molson in McKeesport, Pennsylvania, goddammit. But before I continue, the Miz TV segment featuring the guest Riddle is brought to you by, what is this? Wild Cherry Pepsi Zero. How about that? I'm drinking Wild Cherry Pepsi Zero, same great Wild Cherry Pepsi taste, but none of the sugar. So what you can do, Bob Squad, you go to pepsi.com/Wild Cherry, enter the promo code Bob Squad. Nothing happens. Waste of time. Let me take a sip. That is good Wild Cherry Zero Sugar Pepsi. Yeah, they had a big segment. So anyway, Riddle interrupts them and talks about the Miz's testicles and how they're not large. I'm not kidding. This is what happened in the show. He told him he had tiny balls, but then it became literal. And Maurice interrupted him because the people were chanting tiny balls, which I was surprised for WWE, but it was something different. And Maurice interrupted and said my husband has perfectly average balls. And then Miz keeps motioning with his hand to raise it, and she's like, better than average balls, great balls, enormous balls. Because I really think they can't talk about his schlong, so they just replaced it, but it made it silly, because why would you want your testicles to be that absurdly large? I mean, they hang lower all the time, I know that. I think in about 2 years I'll be able to make sparks fly when I walk. Okay, Bob, was that necessary? No, it wasn't. It certainly wasn't. Oh, so Ciampa is alive and he attacks Riddle. Oh yeah, because Riddle challenges Miz and Miz gets out of the ring. He's a coward. Ciampa attacks Riddle, and then Miz says, in second thought, even though I'm in a tuxedo and dress shoes, I will wrestle Riddle, who got attacked a little bit, but is in his wrestling outfit. and they have a match. I'm pretty sure Riddle just wins the damn thing. Yeah, I think Riddle is still doing the RKO because of Randy Orton. This looked like a keep each other busy feud, I guess, but I don't know. I'm assuming that Riddle and Ciampa have to have a match sooner than later. What the hell do I know? The Street Profits and the Usos wrestled a match, and it was adequate. And the Usos get counted out because they don't want to lose to the Profits, because if the Profits win, I guess at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view in early July, the Profits get it. They just needed to get the Profits a match on the pay-per-view with the Usos. But the Usos couldn't even get pinned here, let alone on pay-per-view. So that's a waste of time. I'm sorry to be that guy. It was a colossal waste of time. But the Blue Light Special was here to waste even more time. Judgment Day, I'm calling a Blue Light Special again. The internet seems to be creaming its digital drawers over this. Like this was the greatest segment in Raw history. I got issues. Well, at least it was long. Edge gloating from his victory last night when he pinned Finn Balor. That's important. He's there with Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, who cannot stop smiling and laughing. Edge says he is a new member of the Judgment Day joining today, and of course it's Finn Balor. Pardon me. That Wild Cherry Pepsi Zero sneaking up on me. It's Finn Balor. So it looks like there's 4 of them. When Finn gives a long, boring thing, he says, I saw the light, I saw your point of view, I'm Irish, and I want to join a Judgment Day. And then, but Damian Priest, oh God. And he says we have to get rid of the things that are holding us back, and Edge is smiling and laughing, and he looks in Edge and he says, and that's you. And then he gives Edge a second to pause to show off his acting classes. And then he clothesline Edge and they stomp the shit out of him. Before I continue, if they're going to do this, just say, we got to get rid of cut the fat, get rid of the excess, get rid of the garbage, whatever. And that's you. Boom. Hit him. Why are we giving Edge time to think? So he can show off his acting classes and make a confused face. Which is the same confused face he would make before his acting classes. And they stomp the bejesus out of him. And they commit the Raw Cardinal Sin, number 117. The attack goes on for 3.5 days. Nobody tries to break it up. Now I understand Edge has been a heel for a while. He would have no babyface friends, blah, 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 blah. But officials should always... You want them a few steps behind, so something happens, but you can't... They just never can. They beat the shit out of Edge. Damian gives him a perfectly flat and safe looking, anyway, as safe as it can be, Razor's Edge to the announce table. I thought it looked really nice. And they do the stupid concerto thing to him, where they put his head on a chair and hit that chair with a chair. Then they sit on a chair, and then the Aquaman Starlet comes over, takes a dump on a chair. No, she doesn't. Bob, knock it off. And then they all laugh and smile. Okay, I have a couple of problems here. Edge, the big bad heel, got turned on and beaten up the night after he gets a big pin over a babyface. The big bad heel, he never got any comeuppance. He was just evil the whole way through, and then evil turned on evil. So there's no way... Where's the sympathy I'm supposed to feel for Edge? If Edge has been evil for 3 or 4 months or whatever it is, and been doing evil things, and attacking people like AJ Styles, who we love in evil ways, and Finn Balor, quite frankly, why am I feeling sympathetic for evil Edge? For what reason? Because he forgot to wear socks that day? Because he did. It was weird. I didn't like it. I think they wear little socks, so you can't really tell. But I don't like the whole no socks look. What are you doing? Wear socks, my man. But yeah, he never got any comeuppance at all, and I don't know where this. It's not like he had a moment of goodness and decided, okay, we're gonna only half kill this one baby face. We'll come to our senses a little bit, and the rest of his younger, hungrier, wild pack of dogs say, "Now the hell with it," and beat the crap out of Edge. So I don't understand where Edge is. So why should I be happy when Edge comes back? He was doing evil, and evil got done to him. So shouldn't I say the hell with him? I don't. But it's because he's Edge and he's a Hall of Famer, and they weren't really enjoying booing him anyway. That's all I got. That's the only reason, but I don't think it's a great reason. I think it was done too soon. Maybe don't telegraph the shit out of it, but a month of Edge doing something. Maybe Edge would have to wrestle, then he'd have to wrestle more and make more sacrifices. And who knows? And they would just turn on him, and at least they'd have a reason to be like, oh, I guess I could see Edge was trying. No, he was just evil and he beat him up, so who the hell cares, right? If Hordak beats the crap out of Skeletor, how bad do I feel for Skeletor? He's always doing evil things, right? When Vader turns on the Emperor, Return of the Jedi, I don't feel bad for the Emperor. The fuck do I care? The Emperor's been the most evil guy this whole time. But whatever. Nobody cares. That's my say on that. The 4-way, oh my god, we're at the main event. Thank god. We are at the main event already. It's a main event multi-women match. They tried this a few weeks ago, but it kind of went south. Some people left. It's Doudrop, accompanied by Nikki A.S.H. Doudrop versus Rhea Ripley, who's still around. Oh, I don't know. Actually, I should say this. Whether or not there was a match in between this on the non-Hulu version, either way, after all of that, Rhea had to do all that. The Finn Balor turn on Edge stuff, go back into the curtain up the ramp, and then have her new music played, and go back out again, and it's preposterous. Anyway, Rhea versus Doudrop versus Alexa Bliss, I'm not kidding, versus Liv Morgan. Okay, so we have two blonde babyface ladies, and Rhea and Doudrop are the heavies here. It was centered around Rhea versus Doudrop, with the tall, muscular one versus the wider one there, the bigger gal. That's fine, but I noticed something throughout this match. Well, a couple things. Alexa has had no character since she's been back. She's just Alexa Bliss. She hasn't said anything. She carries the doll because it's selling, but she's not doing that character. She's just carrying the doll. Doesn't make a lot of sense. People are generally happy to see her, but she's in there with Liv. Liv Morgan, in my opinion, has passed Alexa Bliss in in-ring ability. Maybe not in star power, maybe not, probably not even in promos, but Liv Morgan has passed Alexa Bliss in the ring. Alexa's barely been wrestling, and her stuff doesn't look as impactful. Liv's stuff isn't that impactful either, but she's athletic, and with the right opponent, it can work. But oh well. At one point, Doudrop and Rhea square off, and everyone's excited. Yay! Another point, Alexa and Liv square off, and it's again, it showed. It totally showed. What happens there? I don't know. The two good guys get bumped out of the ring somehow. And Rhea does her finish on Doudrop, 1, 2, 3, and Bianca's sitting at ringside. Bianca's been just sitting at ringside for like a month watching matches. She has the best seats in the house. And it's going to be Rhea versus Bianca at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Very happy about that. It will be a very good wrestling match. I don't know where it's going. I mean, because Rhea had her two buddies also stare down Bianca. So it's like, hey, woman versus woman, but I have two dudes helping me. Now, they've acknowledged Bianca's marriage to the Street Profits in the past. Since the Street Profits are wrestling the Usos on that show, I wouldn't be surprised if on Raw we saw Profits versus Damian and Finn, one Prophet versus Damian or Finn, and then the other Prophet versus Damian or Finn, the same show, something like that. And maybe after the pay-per-view, the mixed tag, Damian, Finn, Rhea versus the Profits and Bianca. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised. They keep each other busy feud. Because the Usos and the Profits, when there's only two tag teams feuding over a tag team champion, ship. It's hard to stay away from each other. So anything they can do. That's my guess, is that we're going to see some kind of Profits versus Blue Light Special combination for the next several weeks. Because Edge doesn't wrestle on TV anyway, and he just, quote unquote, had his skull caved in. So clearly he needed time off or something. I don't know. I know not the answers, folks. I'm just being Bob. Oh, big show tomorrow. Well, it'll be today by the time this comes out. Thursday night, for me, June 9th, I'm featuring for my good buddy Zoltan, who is headlining the Mic Drop Comedy Club in San Diego. It's a few miles down the road from me. And even though I've had my audition with them already, and I don't find out for a few weeks, if ever, whatever happens, this is more of an audition than the actual audition, in a way. Because now it's like, okay, here's a bigger chunk of time, here's a bigger audience. Do that, go get them, yada, yada, yada. And it just so happens that work went crazy and got super stressful the same week, so I'm a little freaked out. I'm freaking out, man. Freaking out. I do what I gotta do. So that'll be interesting. And hopefully I have nothing going on this weekend. I can do a few more scenes in my Son Bob Aquaman G.I. Joe crossover. The Death of Aquaman, where he dies and isn't alive anymore, but he used to be. That is the full title. So I'm working on that. I'm hoping to be working on that. The script's done. I'm hoping to be working on that this weekend. And then for the week after that, for Tuesday the 14th through Monday the 20th, I'm going to be flying all over the country not getting a goddamn thing done. So, yay. I'll let you know how it goes. Nothing will be going on. It'll be me in an airplane getting sick from a bunch of fat pigs. Okay, Bob, you done? That's how we're ending this. Oh, well. Don't take any bumps on a ring apron, because the ring apron, if you don't already know, is the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Ba-da-ba-da.